Do you know there was a time when the British Parliament actually collapsed, and it was not because of the war, it was just because of a company. Yes, back in 1720, Britain was not only selling the shares, they were selling the fortune, which was so seductive that it almost crashed the whole economy. So the company promised the riches from the lands which they couldn't even reach. Yes, that was so attractive that the most of the merchants, most of the kings, and the most of the investors of that time just got attracted to this investment and invested in that company, of thinking they could make the fortune for their lives and they could actually survive. But in reality, it was different.
In 1711, under Queen Anne's reign, the South Sea Company was established. Its official mission was to manage Britain's national debt in exchange for exclusive trading rights in South America. But the South America was under Spanish control, and here comes the interesting part. Spain had closed its colonies to foreign trade. British ships weren't even allowed to dock. The only contract the company held as Tierra de Negros was for limited slave trading only. It brought little profit, and certainly no golden cities. Despite this, the company marketed itself as the gateway to unimaginable wealth. The illusion became the foundation of one of history's most infamous financial bubbles. Economically, Britain's financial system was evolving. The Bank of England had been founded in 1694. The London Stock Exchange was emerging from the coffee houses by 1698. But in 1720, there were no formal disclosure rules, which means no audited accounts, no transparency, no corporate governance. The South Sea Company exploited this vacuum. People invested their life savings chasing a dream spun from speculation. By the time reality caught up, the bubble had grown monstrous and its collapse was inevitable. The South Sea Bubble of 1720 was a catastrophic British financial crisis driven by the speculation in the South Sea Company. Fueled by hype, insider manipulation, and government backing, prices soared. By June, shares hit a staggering price of 1,000, a tenfold increase in just months. Investors mortgaged homes, sold estates, and borrowed heavily to buy in. Even members of the parliament and royal court were deeply invested. But by August, cracks began to show. Confidence wavered, people started selling. By September, panic set in. Shares plummeted back to £150 per share, wiping out fortunes overnight. Banks collapsed, credit froze, and thousands were ruined. Here comes the political fallout of that time as well. The company hadn't just seduced the public, it had infiltrated parliament as well. Bribes were ramped, MPs were shareholders, regulations were deliberately ignored, and when the bubble burst, the scandal exploded. One of the chancellors was found guilty of corruption. He was arrested, expelled from parliament, and imprisoned in the Tower of London. Other officials resigned in disgrace. The government was humiliated. Public trust in leadership collapsed. This wasn't just a financial crisis, it was a political reckoning. Globally, the crash of 1720 sent turmoil across Europe. Investors' confidence collapsed. Governments and financial institutions were forced to wake up. New rules emerged. Corporate governance, financial disclosure, and oversight become urgent priorities. People learned the hard truth, which is, without transparency, finance is nothing more than a dangerous gamble. Across the continent, the South Sea Bubble became a cautionary tale. Right at the same time, there was an economist, Richard Capital, who saw this coming. He warned that the company's valuation is unsustainable, but no one listened. Greed had blinded the masses. Only after the collapse did people understand his warning, but by then it was far too late.
The South Sea Bubble teaches us a really important lesson, which is transparency and accountability are not optional, they are essential. When the politics mix with finance, the disaster is certain.